beautiful ones, and welcome to this reading. I'm Fire Moon, and I'm so excited to be back here to do this reading for you on what is manifesting for you in love. So this is such a gorgeous time for all things relating to romance, to union, to soulmate partnership, and to all things of a similar kind. As many of you might know, Venus and Mars are in full conjunction this February 2022, so it is an extremely rare and sort of unprecedented time for manifestation and love. So this is the reading where we're going to be looking into all of that energy for you and to see if there's any particular advice for how you could best embrace this energy, how you could make the most out of this, and what it means particularly for you at this time. So I have 5 piles as well as beautiful stones laid out for you here. So I'm going to show you each of them individually, and then we're going to get started. I'm very excited. So first we have this gorgeous rose quartz. Second, we have this beautiful moonstone egg. Third, we have this powerful obsidian sphere. Then we have this lovely purple tiger eye. And finally, we have this selenite heart. So take a second, meditate, take a deep breath, and think about which pile calls out the most to you, and I'll see you on the other side shortly. So hello everyone who picked pile number 1, as well as this beautiful heart-shaped rose quartz. So this reading is for you. So what I already sense from this beautiful stone is that so much gentleness and peace and just heart-centered romance as well as lightheartedness really wants to come your way. Such a beautiful healing energy. And if you've been feeling strained at all or stressed, or if you've been focused on matters that are not so much related to the heart, this reading really is for you. This is all about bringing love into the situation, into your life, into your daily experience on every single level of your life. So in every single area of your life, this is about embodying love and doing absolutely everything with the energy of lightheartedness and tenderness. And it's a very, very feminine energy. This is, of course, genderless. This could relate to anyone and everyone. But basically, the divine feminine energy really wants to find you and give you so much tender love and care right now. So let's see what the cards I have for you want to say about this. First, we have pleasure, and already what I can sense with this is the second chakra. It's the sacral chakra. It is indeed a feminine chakra. It's the energy of sensuality, of sexuality. It's the water chakra, so anything and everything related to emotion as well as to psychic energy. It says enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. And already I sense that this is very Venusian energy. So more of a yin sort of energy rather than yang. So this sort of tenderness and love and just enjoyment really wants to find you. And this is absolutely necessary for you in your life right now, especially if you've been focused more on matters of career, of finance, on building and on materials. This is also just a wonderful time because right now Venus as well as Mars are in full conjunction in the sign of Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which trines the natural energy of Venus, which rules Taurus as well as Libra, but Taurus is one of the main signs that it rules. So this is all about finding, basically embodying love on a material level as well as a physical level, and drawing it forth towards you by first experiencing it within yourself, not just conceptually, not just in the astral realm or in your mind, but quite literally at the physical level. And this really speaks to me about the energy of radiating love from your heart and spreading like basically all over your body and getting you to feel all of the beautiful things that you've been wishing for and wanting before they actually happen, before they manifest into the physical. I also get the number 10 here, which really does speak to me about career and the fact that you have been focused very strongly on making yourself successful, whether in your career or when it comes to finances, or sort of putting yourself out there and building a really clear and a powerful image for yourself. And this speaks about taking a step back and coming back to the basics and to your true sort of inward authenticity. The 10th house in astrology is opposite of the 4th house. So this really speaks to me about equalizing a focus on the public and the external with that of the inward, the home, the most private and intimate. So more of this 4th house energy, this beautiful Cancerian, Venusian energy wants to find you and to give you so much beautiful love. So we also have tenderness. I am not surprised to see this card. 40, that's also house 4, exactly what I was thinking of. It says the energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. So especially, yes, if you've been working really hard and being serious and being sort of Saturnian and responsible, and especially for those of you who have maybe had a Saturn return or some important transit in your house of career, the opposite energy really wants to reach you. And this is basically about allowing that into your life. Attracting that simply by experiencing it from within, by connecting to it through your heart. And maybe that sounds cliche, but I feel like a lot of the people in this who are watching this pile, or most of you, are very driven people. You have always been sort of focused on your goals in your career, maybe at the expense of love. Like, can love be a goal? For those of you who are really into goals, maybe can that be a productive thing rather than thinking about it as something that's totally out of your control? So let's see the next card. Yeah, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. I didn't even look at these cards. They just kind of flew out. It was a very sort of quick shuffle when I shuffled the piles. And oh my goodness, the 10th house is coming out. Absolutely, 10th house, 4th house, oppositions astrologically. So this is what you've been focusing on: building your career, your legacy, grounding yourself in the world, building up security around finances, around your businesses, perhaps around maybe even learning, but I get the sense that it's more career as well as business. And yeah, you've been working extremely hard. You have been focused very clearly on, I think, at least 1 or 2 goals that have to do with everything that I've been talking about. And I like how in the middle we have green, and on the outer cards we have orange. So that really speaks to me about a shifting focus from the lower to the higher chakras, because the 4th chakra, that of the heart, which is symbolized here with the rose quartz, is the bridging chakra between the lower and the higher chakras. So you've been so focused on grounding yourself in the world, on building up security, and now it's time to receive energy from the universe, to be more in a surrender mode rather than an initiating mode and energy. It's all about shifting more into that beautiful divine feminine energy rather than that sort of perseverant, action-oriented yang or masculine energy. Let's pull some extra charms for you to see if there are any other details that Spirit wants to add about the situation you're in right now and what you want to attract. Oopsies, knocking everything over. Ooh, and one little thing is stuck in my between my rings. We have a little Mickey Mouse key, a kitty. I'm not sure. Oh, this is an elephant. A little skull. I hope you can see these. Another key and another key. Oh my goodness. And a bone. So I'm just going to organize these in little categories here. We also have an angel, a turtle, another kitty, 2 hearts, and a dragonfly, I think, a butterfly, and another heart. So basically what I'm sensing is absolutely you've been in such a responsible energy. And I can tell this because of the elephant and the turtle came up, and they are animals associated with longevity, with seriousness, with sort of stability. And then we also have the skull, which indicates that perhaps there was a big transformation in your life that happened at the physical level, whether some huge change in your career or some sort of situation where you felt like you had to transform yourself and reinvent yourself in order to be successful. We also have two cats, which signifies a sort of feminine energy, I think. And this is what you're being kind of encouraged to embrace more of, the sort of playfulness. Right now, the moon is full in Leo, which is all about bringing playfulness and enjoyment into love and about being just childlike at heart and embracing that energy of the inner child. We have two hearts, which basically just says to me, you're shifting your focus from such strong and such materially based energy to one of the heart. And you are being guided by your spirit guides and angels on this quest of embracing that energy and transforming via these butterfly and dragonfly energies to a level that is just so much more simple, so much more effortless. So let's see what your path is going to look like as you experience what wants to come into your life in love. Let's pull some tarot here. Oh my goodness, Knight of Cups right off the bat. Yes, beautiful romance and enjoyment wants to come your way. And I feel like this reading, particularly already, the signs of Taurus, Cancer, and Capricorn are really standing out to me. So, whoa, hello. Oh my goodness. The Empress. What were we saying about divine feminine energy? This is the epitome of that. You are being noticed and seen not just for your successes. Look at this, Six of Wands. And for the stuff that you create and that you managed to acquire through your intensely hard work, as well as dedication and indeed perseverance. And look at how these cards are both orange. So that's really a further confirmation that you've been focused so much on career. But you're being noticed for your inward beauty, as well as outward beauty, of course, and just your general lushness as a human being, and potentially maybe for your artistry as well as your creativity, not just your hard work and doing sort of status quo related things like, I don't know, being really serious and showing up every single day at work. But this is, you're being noticed for your specific particular qualities that make you special and beautiful and desirable and powerful, especially in that sort of feminine way, whether you are, it does not matter what gender you are. This is about that inward aspect of you that is sacred, that holds the key. And we have so many keys in this, in these charms. That speaks to me that you've been focusing on acquiring certain skills, but this is about the key that you already have within in your soul that opens sort of the gateway to your greatest life purpose, which includes enjoyment and love and tenderness, and it includes a sort of relationship to the world that is so effortless and so just simply enjoyable. This is, once again, weren't we talking about Venus energy in the 10th house? This represents that further. This is also bringing up the sign of Libra, so this definitely applies to you as well. Although, of course, if none of this resonates, that's totally fine. It's just a further confirmation if you do have important placements in any of these signs that I mentioned. So basically, this is what wants to come your way. This beautiful romance. This person has kind of pulled out all the stops. They have the flowers. They have the horse that's kind of a unicorn over there. And they have a beautiful picnic set up. They have an envelope with probably some beautiful poetry inside. I don't know. That's just what I feel. So much artistry and love and sort of aesthetic enjoyment wants to come your way. Are we going to take all of these? We're going to take all of these. So The Eight of Swords here, you might have felt like it's not really in your power to focus your energies on love. Or that basically what I sense is that you're someone who thinks of career and success as something that's totally within your grasp. Like, you know, if you have a goal or a desire within you that relates to manifesting your talents, your purpose, any sort of success in life, you feel like you're very powerful within it and like it's totally within your grasp. But when it comes to love, you feel like maybe that's not accessible to you, or like you're not maybe able to control that at all. And what you're being asked so clearly is to surrender to this beautiful, psychic, emotional, divine feminine energy within you, because this is going to be the key, the portal through which you can receive this beautiful tenderness, this absolute enjoyment of that, you know, opposite sort of energy that you've been in and that you've been manifesting actively this time. The Queen of Cups, she's kind of like, you know, in some ways, in many ways, the minor arcana version of the Empress or of the High Priestess. She's kind of a combination between the two of them in my book. And she's just here kind of chilling. She just believes and has faith that this is something that she can magnetize towards her. And just by opening up to that channel, even if she doesn't know exactly how it will happen, she's capable of simply attracting it to her. You know, imagine if you were to put this amount of faith that you have been putting into your career and into your material success, or into both of that, into your love life. How much success, how much manifestation could you pull in? And the answer is a lot, especially with the Moon card here, which rules Pisces as well. So that could also be further confirmation for you. This is all about, I know this is very cliche perhaps, especially at the full moon, but surrendering to the divine and putting that wish out there, even if you don't feel like it's something that, I don't know, is natural for you. Like, you know, how can you treat love as a goal, for example, because that might seem out of grasp for you, out of your hands completely. But this is literally all about using psychic, beautiful, surrendering energy in order to bring this towards you, to attract this to you. And if you feel like you're sort of lost every time you think about this desire that you do have deep within you, like, you know, you're so sure of yourself in the real world when it comes to you and your own particular accomplishments, then that's actually a good sign, because it shows you that there's so much untapped magic within you that you can just reach if you were to simply open that channel. So open that channel, even if you don't know exactly what's going to come your way, because through absolute synchronicities and angelic guidance, and I'm really going back to this charm here with Angel, you're going to be given exactly what your heart truly wants, which is this beautiful soulmate union of the highest degree. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah. So again, bringing this same amount of passion that you have for your goals, for your talents, and for your work, letting that sort of transform within you into this gorgeous magnetism that is already there for you, but that I feel you're blocking out because you sense that, oh, there's no way that, you know, I'll be noticed for this sort of thing rather than just for my accomplishments. If you've ever been telling yourself this sort of thing, like, I'm the smart one, I'm the successful one, I'm the responsible one, I'm not the beautiful one or the one who attracts romance or who has it in my life, this is a reading that is telling you that these are all self-limiting beliefs. These are all illusions that have been probably just perpetuated in this cycle of you working so absolutely hard on making something, you know, big of yourself, whether in your career or in any other material sense, that you've sort of put to the side this part of you that really needs so much tenderness and love, and that deserves it, and that already embodies it. This is about recognizing that you already have that energy within you and tapping into the magic of that so that you can attract it towards yourself. And lunar cycles are really powerful for you to work with. Setting intentions at the new moon, as well as surrendering at the full moon and letting go of any resentments or any blockages, such as mantras like, this is not accessible to me, or this part of my life I can't control. For you, the paradoxical sort of mantra is, through surrender, you kind of shift the energy towards your highest benefit, and in some ways you control more of it when it comes to love, rather than saying that you're entirely powerless when it comes to this part of your life, because you aren't. It's all about alignment within and what you already feel and attracting that into your life, rather than saying, calling this part of your life like, something that's too out of your grasp and too out of your energy to be able to focus on and to draw forth. So let's see what your advice is. So what things do you need to release? And I feel like we already kind of got through that. Whoa, that really came out quickly. What things do you need to release or to clear before this energy can come through fully and manifest for you? So we got labradorite, serendipity. So this is literally about trusting in divine energies, and it's about basically realizing that some of the most gorgeous and beautiful things out there that can happen to you come forth in pretty mysterious ways sometimes. The moon is a card about mystery. It's a card about things that are hidden in the shadows, and that does not have to be negative. This is about having faith that what is not in your life yet, in the physical and tangible, is something absolutely beautiful and just gorgeous and magical, something that can give you as much enjoyment and pleasure and satisfaction as your goals that you consider more feasible and more doable and more accessible to you. It's about trusting that this sort of energy is also meant for you. That you're not just someone who always has to work in order to feel good about yourself or in order to feel like you're in control. By trusting that the hidden realms have something beautiful to give you, you align yourself more with your heart's true desire when it comes to romance, to partnership, to love, than if you were to approach this area of your life in the same way in which you do your career, which of course is you're already so successful at, and you're such a great manifester in that area. So why not believe that you are capable of attracting the same abundance, love, and fulfillment in your love life and in your partnerships? So we have 4 cards for healing energy here. So we have unraveling codependency, and this says only I have to feel good about my choices. We have greeting wellness. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Exploring unity consciousness. I am one eternal light appearing as all. And demystifying the darkness. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely beautiful. And so important for this reading. My shadows show me where my love needs to be sent. So not fearing what is not immediately accessible to you, including your own feelings, including your own wishes and desires. If, just the very idea of partnership and romance makes you feel like this, like you're all tied up and like you have no control over it, then explore that further and look within yourself to see why you might be feeling this way. And is there some sort of blockage that you have when it comes to this idea of manifesting love? I am one eternal light appearing as all. So this really speaks once again to me about alignment. Once you start to feel that you have not power of control over that part of your life, but that you have this accessible portal towards manifesting that sort of energy into your life. And once you sort of balance out your yin and yang energy within your feminine and masculine energy, your goal-orientedness, as well as ability to draw forth energy, or to simply attract by just being you, by resonating at your most authentic energy, and by just being your beautiful self, then you will start to feel empowered in everything you do, including in your wishing upon love. So let's see if we have a couple of soulmate messages for you. Where did I put my soulmate messages box? Okay, so your spiritual awareness is growing, and so too is your sexuality. Sensuality is heightened, and this has a magical effect on the one you love. A sacred union is reborn. Love is the present moment. So if you've been sort of out of sorts with your sacral energy, whether just simply enjoyment of life in general, like you maybe have been feeling disconnected from the energy of enjoyment in all ways, whether that is physically when it comes to, I don't know, even enjoying food, enjoying scents around you, enjoying nature, whether it is something to do with sexuality, if you've just been kind of in a dry spell when it comes to that, this is a time when tapping into that beautiful psychic Queen of Cups energy within you and taking a step back from all that sort of high octane, like manifestation, girl boss energy maybe. Of course, this is genderless, but I get the sense that a lot of you are in that energy in this file. Then you are just making yourself so much more open to attracting this, beautiful sacred union. So it says, be still, listen, feel, and just be. Have you forgotten what is truly important? When you pass from this world, all you take with you is your soul and the beautiful memories it holds. So the Taurus North Node right now, which is opposite, of course, of the Scorpio South Node, wants us to rethink what is really worthy for us. And this for you in this reading, it has to do with bringing up this side of things once again and not feeling like it's sort of illogical to value this sort of energy, because what in the end has the most value? It's, you can have a full bank account and you can be quote unquote prestigious in your career, but at the end of the day, worth is not really confined to those areas of life. So if we've been really focused on that again, this reading is asking you to take advantage of this beautiful 222 portal in February, because this is such a heightened time when you could absolutely embrace and take advantage of shortcuts, like energetic psychic shortcuts, where simply by assuming that you are capable of attracting this energy into your life, you draw it forth. And worth is not something necessarily that you create by showing up every day in the same amount of time, at the same time, by working hard. It's also something that you draw forth by believing in the things that are most deeply and tenderly connected to your heart. So those are the messages that I see for you, pile number 1. I would love to hear your comments. Of course, I would appreciate your likes, your subscribes, any shares, and I would love to hear your stories. So thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day or night. Bye. So hi to those of you who picked pile number 2, as well as this beautiful moonstone egg. So this reading is for you. And already what I can sense from the energy of this gorgeous stone is that your soul really wants to bring your attention to the spiritual messages that are surrounding you, as well as to some sort of angelic and higher spirit guidance and inspiration. There's a lot more to uncover about the situation in your life surrounding love right now. There are deeper layers of meaning here, as well as things about your energy that might be a little bit concealed or confused, or simply sort of out of sorts, that need just a little bit of alignment for you to manifest and enjoy the reality that you are most deeply desiring at this time. So this is really great news because this February is one of the rarest times ever for manifestation when it comes to love and for simply alignment when it comes to love. It's basically a portal for energetic shortcuts when it comes to receiving the manifestation of all your love-related dreams. So let's see what the cards have to say about this. Okay, all right, solar plexus chakra, and we get a flaming, beautiful, yellow, fiery Leo, Sag, Aries energy, but mostly Leo energy. This is all about your sense of self-worth and empowerment. And this is very interesting to me. The first pile was really all about divine feminine energy and about equalizing and balancing that out. And this is all about your inner divine masculine as well as yang energy centered drive and sense of power and positive and beautiful control. We also have, oh my God, I can't believe this. I didn't even look at these cards. When I shuffled them, they literally just came out face down for each pile. It was a really quick shuffle. And we have divine masculine. Okay, so this speaks about either manifesting that divine masculine counterpart into your life, or about you embracing that side of yourself, or embodying this sort of goal-orientedness and decisive as well as empowered attitude in order to attract the most ideal situation for you in love. So we have Moon, Soul as your astrological card here, as well as Faith. Okay, so interesting. With these cards, maybe what I sense with this is that you've been, especially with the Moonstone here, maybe you're someone who's very psychically, intuitively guided and gifted, and maybe you're very in tune with your divine feminine energy and with your creative, artistic, as well as sort of yin energy of all kinds, because the moon is coming up, which, you know, of course, Moonstone, moon, Cancer energy, Pisces energy as well, especially with Faith. I also get Pisces and Sagittarius energy. And also I was talking about angelic guidance here, and we see a sort of angel figure here. So what I sense basically from this is that actually your spirit guides, your angels, have been telling you to not just sort of imagine and dream about this, but to take some sort of action, some sort of goal-oriented and material action when it comes to your hopes and dreams, when it comes to love, to partnership. This is about you embracing your full and true authentic power. The solar plexus is, in its sort of highest form, is about authenticity. So this speaks about not just dreaming and hoping about something, but really making it happen. It says here, the frequency of the divine masculine supports our active, focused, and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. This literally is about making dreams come true in the physical reality. So I'm going to pull a few charms to further clarify what is manifesting for you in love right now, and I should say for you, pile number 2, what you are manifesting in love. Whoa, okay. So funny. These 2 butterflies jumped out at the end, and that stands out with, or connects rather, with the capacity to transform. This is just super emphasized over here, these 2 butterflies. Of course, we have an owl. We have a tree of life. We have a skull and bones here. A crown. 2 cats. And the Eiffel Tower, if you can see this, it's not blending in with my rings, as well as an acorn. Yeah. Pretty clear energy to me here. You are someone who is very spiritual, obviously, and you have a lot of deep wisdom within you. Emotionally, psychically, even intellectually, And you're being called to embrace the power of your ability to create. The acorn is all about planting its seeds so that it may grow into this full tree, basically. And you might have gone through a really intense transformation in your life recently, or at least over the past like 5 years or so, at the most, that sort of challenged your identity and made you feel perhaps less strong and rooted in your reality. Maybe you've gone through an intense sort of spiritual awakening, and that sort of destabilized the place that you occupied in the world before, or maybe the roles that you played. With the crown, it's all about roles. I know these are very tiny, you can't really see them. It's all about the roles you play in life. And you've basically been kind of forced to transform the way you look at yourself and the way you find yourself in the world. Interesting with the Eiffel Tower here. This might just be a confirmation specifically for some of you that your change has something to do with France or maybe something to do with a relocation or some sort of travel. It could also just speak about you having built a sort of empire or having built a sort of life for yourself. With the crown and the tower as well as the tree, it's all about building and growing. And this is asking you, do you find yourself capable of growing and of manifesting things into your life that relate to your love situation and your love life as well? You might be someone who finds it easier to focus on goals, and this is a similar message to the first pile, as long as they are related to your career, as long as they're related to your more concrete sort of goals. And this like sort of combination of energy for me speaks about the Hierophant card in tarot, which is about institutions. So if you are someone who is perhaps very strongly religious or aligned with any other sort of institution of higher learning, or if you in general find yourself around this sort of energy of just learning in general, and if that's sort of natural to you, then this is asking you to shift into a more sort of goal-oriented approach when it comes to the area of relationship and love, so that you may attract what you're really, really desiring at the soul level at the moment. Okay, so let's see. Actually, first we're going to pull some tarot and see what this situation entails for you on a more detailed level. So you're someone who's very advanced. You might be a very old soul with the tree, the owl, with the moon, soul, and faith. You're someone who is, you might really be focused on, interesting, things other than the material realm. Things that happen at the soul level. So in that sense, it is a bit opposite of the first pile. Interesting. You're someone who is just, very psychically as well as spiritually attuned, and you have gone through this deep transformation. At least one of you who is listening to this reading has some sort of position of power in a spiritual sense, and you play a really successful, you very successfully embrace and embody the role of a spiritual leader to others. And because of that, you might be focused very much on service. With the Hanged Man, that's Pisces energy, which speaks to me about service for humanity's sake, and it's coming up in reverse. That's a different message, but it's about the energy of sort of self-sacrifice, for the needs of others or for the guidance of others. this is all about empowerment of your own particular self. And that might be something that is a little bit more difficult for you because you're such a spiritual person, and sometimes you just kind of don't know if there's any worth in embracing this sort of like very, what seems to you to be ego-based energy, as in like, do you even deserve this and that? And it's not about that. This reading wants to tell you that it is not selfish to want love and to desire connection at the physical level and at the human level. It is not something that has to go against your spiritual beliefs and your energetic sort of like blueprint, which is so advanced and so just so mature energetically. This is about a shift in perspective when it comes to your relationship with the world, basically, with the material energies surrounding you. The Hangman, yeah, it's all about if it was in the upright. And it's so interesting to me, every time the Hangman comes up reversed, it's all about a shift of perspective. But the Hangman is already shifted in perspective. So this is telling you that you're a little bit too focused on immaterial energies. And this reading wants to bring back some sort of balance in your life. It wants to ground you more into the energies that are immediately surrounding you. Like, this is the Queen of Pentacles. She is someone who is very happy to be alive, and she is so capable of enjoying things around her and of embracing pleasure and of simply enjoying the process of slow and beautiful and organic growth around her when it comes to making manifestations happen. And the Two of Pentacles is about, it's a card of balance. This is kind of like the minor arcana version of the Lovers, which speaks about a choice. It speaks about, in your particular context, about the union of spirit and earth, spirituality and materiality. And if you've ever been made to feel like it was out of your control to experience and to attract love on a physical level, or if you felt like this is a card that's all about feeling alone in this particular context. It's about feeling like because you're so spiritually based and so just simply aligned with energies that are maybe not so visible on earth, that you are somehow meant to experience aloneness, or that you're not capable of finding a union with others who are able to align with you on an energetic and emotional level. But this tells you that this sort of, with the Two of Swords as well as Two of Pentacles, this speaks to me about a sort of self-imposed blockage. There doesn't have to be this conflict between these two energies. You don't have to walk this path alone. It does not necessarily mean that it makes you more wise, actually. That's a message that I think really needs to come out. Wisdom, spirituality, emotional and energetic depth does not have to mean sacrifice and sort of, martyrdom. Like, that's what it's as intense as that. Like, what part of what you're saying to yourself about your role on earth and in this lifetime is actually self-limiting to you? If you are telling yourself, for example, like, I sense that at least one of you feels like you're some sort of spiritual guide to others, and that's your role in life and that's your purpose. Do you feel that somehow that makes you sort of misaligned automatically with the possibility to enjoy love and to enjoy partnership at the passionate sort of level? The Ace of Wands really connects to the solar plexus to me. It's, of course, fire energy. It's all about passion and immediateness and connectedness and inspiration. And it's, if your sort of native energy is this sort of more disconnected, more Neptunian, more Piscean, in some ways detachment, then this tells you that passion and fire and solar energy is also your birthright, and that you have that possibility within you. You not only have that, but you are meant to experience that in order so that you have an even broader and deeper and more wise understanding of your purpose, of your spiritual mission, and of your role as a leader, as a guide to others in life. With the 6 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, this sort of beautiful soulmate love wants to come your way. You're not meant to experience this process of learning and of growth by yourself. And yes, you've had a very powerful awakening and transformation, and you are someone who is just a very powerful soul energetically, and you have so much psychic and just emotional, spiritual energy within you, especially if you have like powerful Pisces, Virgo, even Aquarius placements. So that's just a further confirmation for you. But you were also meant to be of this earth and to enjoy life at this physical and just beautiful, like fiery, passionate level. So let's see. What do you need to release or clear or heal in order to embrace this energy that really wants to come forth your way? Ooh, okay. Let's just get one card, like not 3 or 7. Okay, we still get 2 cards. So I'm just going to take them. Okay, so we get abalone shell, calmness, and amethyst, sobriety. Yeah, so with these energies, I'm going to take them sort of together. If you've been really sort of immersed in your spiritual learning or learning, higher learning of any kind, that's also very Sagittarian, by the way. This is all about, this message about what you need to release or heal speaks to me about grounding yourself once again, and about reconnecting with those around you, and sort of coming out of that self-imposed shell or alternative sort of reality. Yeah, with the moon being so central to you, as well as the energy of Pisces that I just feel from this Faith card. You might have been in very Neptunian lands, and you might have been sort of like exploring higher dimensional realities. Yeah, indeed, connecting to your spirit guides and receiving lots of downloads, like being just in that very spiritual energy. And this reading really wants to tell you that it's great to be doing that, and you've done so much, and you should be so proud of yourself. And this is such valuable energy and such a valuable use of your time. That's probably one of your most important purposes in this lifetime. But it's also time to sort of center yourself a little bit, to balance yourself between that sort of spiritual energy and the earthly realm, and to kind of come out of that absolutely heightened energy, and to not assume that living life in this Queen of Pentacles way is something that is lesser or that is less magical. There's so much magic to be experienced at the level of the material and on earth, indeed. And one of your greatest sort of abilities in this lifetime is to bridge this gap between the material and the immaterial, between the physical and the spiritual. And with this green as well as yellow and lots of blue here, thinking about this in terms of chakras, through shifting your focus from this sort of very mental, as well as I sense that you're very sort of centered in your higher chakras. So your throat chakra, your third eye, as well as your crown. That's all like blue and purple. Shifting your focus back to your heart and tuning into what truly matters to you and what your heart really actually wants for you. this time is all about shifting that focus back to the emotional, because with the Taurus North Node as well as the Scorpio South Node, the thing that they have in common is the energy of what truly matters. And both signs have things to tell us about that, and they might seem a little bit conflicting at times, but in the end, worth can mean many, many things. And shifting your focus back to your heart is going to be something that's going to give you that possibility to bridge this beautiful spiritual energy with your actual physical reality, and to bring a sort of manifestation, because the solar plexus is all about manifestation, about bringing things into the real world, a manifestation of your true dreams and desires in a way that they're tangible. There doesn't have to be this disconnect between what you envision and what you hope for and your daily experience. So let's see. I'm going to pull some healing cards for you. Okay. And of course we get two orange colored ones. So we get befriending pain. And it says, when discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. And we also have amplifying abundance. Abundance is my birthright, and I receive it now. And oh my gosh, I think I spoke about birthright in this reading. So yeah, if you felt ever like your only true asset in this life was sort of your psychic and spiritual knowledge and wisdom, this reading wants to tell you that that is definitely something that is true, but it doesn't have to be something that's like a self-contained world within itself. There doesn't have to be this gap between your spiritual worth and your material worth. And it might feel a little bit uncomfortable for you to focus on goals so directly, or on the material world so directly. It might feel like that's something that's opposite your spiritual beliefs, but through that bridging channel of the heart and of connecting back to what you really are truly desiring at this moment, and that is this beautiful, tender love that wants to come your way in the form of, material partnership on earth, you are able to clear that inward blockage that tells you that you, because you're an older soul, because you're this and that, are unable to find partnership, because there's always going to be a misalignment, because people are always so ego focused in the world, and because you feel that if you were even to focus on those goals, it's going to make you just as ego focused as them. That is not true. There are others like you out there, and it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can have, in fact, one of your greatest abilities in this life, you're such a special person, is that you're able to create this sort of heaven on earth situation, and to bring the energy of spirituality into everything that you experience that is also material, and that is tangible, and that is visible. So let's pull you a couple of soulmate messages. Ooh, hello. We got exactly two. And it says, you are entering a period of positive change, deep and profound transformations that occur at the deepest level of your being. You emerge with a renewed passion for life, full of romance and creativity. And life is forever changing in accordance with nature's divine will. May we lovingly embrace life's changing seasons in the knowledge that all is as should be, and that love is all there is. So both of these speak about change, and it seems to me like maybe you've recently passed out of a deep sort of cycle of maybe dark night of the soul, or of self-reflection, or of transforming yourself at the deep cellular level. And maybe it feels to you like there's not going to ever be an end to this darkness, or to this way of living life. And I think the most important message that I get from your reading is that this is not meant to be your permanent reality. This was meant to be a bridge between your past self and maybe the different limitations that you had back then, and between your future reality, which wants to bridge the spiritual energy with the worldly realm. You're not meant to be in the dark. You're not meant to be in this energy of aloneness and a feeling like you have to walk this more difficult spiritual path than others who, you might have been telling yourself that ignorance is bliss and that you wish you were ignorant all over again. That does not have to be the case. It's difficult to go through this sort of process of awakening and transformation, right? But at the end of the day, the main goal of this is to bring you closer to love, not farther away from it. And yeah, tending to that deep desire that you have for that deep sacred desire for partnership and tender and sweet love is what's going to make this happen, and what's going to sort of shorten this passage of learning and of gathering wisdom, and to balance out these energies which are not at all opposite of each other, which is what you might have been telling yourself. So love is possible for you in this lifetime, exactly as you are. You're worthy, you're beautiful, and it is in your power to attract that. And the more you believe that it is accessible to you, the more you get closer to embracing that and to manifesting it in the world. So that's what I have for you in this reading. I hope you enjoy that. I hope that some of it was resonant. I would love to hear your comments, your stories. And of course, I would really appreciate your likes, your subscribes, so on. I hope to see you back here, and have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching. Thanks so much. Bye. So hi to everyone who picked pile number 3, as well as this gorgeous obsidian stone. So already what I sense from the energy of this beautiful object here is that you have been in an energy of self-protection, as well as of gathering certain strengths and skills, and of maybe potentially connecting with your shadow side, as well as going through a period and various cycles of shadow work, as well as healing, as well as self-transformation. And you are someone who has a deep ability, a deep psychic ability, and a deep transformative ability, both to experience that within yourself as well as inspire it in others. And there's been a lot of sort of stark and heavy energy around you, especially if you've been focused on matters of sort of responsibility. And that's, I get a very sort of Saturnian energy. I get like kind of Capricorn, Scorpio energy for you. And the message of boundaries is coming up very clearly to me. Obsidian is also about protection. It's about self-protection. It's about dispelling negative energy and cutting cords to disruptive as well as depleting energy in your life. So let's see what the cards have to say about you and for you. Okay, so we get possessions, belongings, finances, assets, and treasures. And already what I am drawn to here is this array of dangling stones and charms on this woman's horns. And wow, she's also holding an orb, which really has the same energy as the stone here. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if this is not you, don't worry about it. But for those of you for whom it is important and connected, yeah, Capricorn and Scorpio energy. This also speaks to me about, even though it says 7 and it's the root chakra, this speaks to me about the 8th house, which has to do with finances and assets, especially shared assets between partners, for example, as well as inheritance, and yeah, belongings in general. And treasures to me speaks about this energy of Venus in Capricorn. And we've recently come out of Venus retrograde, and right now, as I'm recording this, literally on February 16th, there is a conjunction between Venus and Mars in the sign of Capricorn. And together with the North Node in Taurus right now, opposite, of course, of the South Node in Scorpio, it's all about redefining worth in relationships and what that means in your experience of them, and where boundaries fit into all of this. So let's see. Okay, so sensuality. The frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings, experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. So I sense that you might have been a little bit shut off from this sort of more divine feminine energy here, which is all about sort of surrendering and about being maybe freer and more open with your boundaries. And if that energy, and of course this is genderless, so it does not have to be binary at all, but if that divine feminine aspect of yourself was hurt or disrespected in the past, you might have put up shells around yourself and almost overly strong boundaries in order to protect that, and that's totally fair. So let's see what this, so lunar eclipse change, as well as insecurity. Okay, so yeah, this definitely speaks to me about some sort of deep transformative experience that you've had, which might have been very triggering to you and very maybe shattering to your sense of security and sense of connection to the energy of love and to openness. And this is something that was meant to happen in a way so that it would bring you closer to your power and to your ability to set very clear boundaries and to be very empowered, as in like self-sufficient, so that you are the one who's creating your own worth in life, whether it comes to finances, to your career, to being a powerful person in general, to being someone who's very well respected by others. And the lunar eclipse, this card does make me think of the Lilith card in this deck as well, which speaks about sort of the dark feminine and about the disowned self as well. And yeah, this reading wants to acknowledge, especially both of these cards here are red, and that really does signify the root chakra. There was some sort of heartbreak or a destabilizing experience in your life at the emotional level, maybe something to do with just in general a romantic or sexual relationship that you've had that you felt depleted your energy, your core energy, or that transformed you in ways that were beyond your control or too difficult and too violent, so that you shut yourself off, or of course you went through probably a very deep and important spiritual experience that changed a lot of your outlooks on life, but that also blocked you off from receiving this sort of love. And I like how these cards really kind of tie together when it comes to the color scheme here, but this one really stands out. So 3 and 6, they add up to 9. And even though this experience, which was indeed a spiritual one, made you very self-aware, it made you sort of reconsider who you are, and made you very strong in the world, and it made you very capable when it comes to manifesting, when it comes to being kind of ruthlessly focused on your self-confidence as well as self-sufficiency in the world, whether materially, financially, career-wise, when it comes to projecting your identity into the world. It also in some ways disconnected you from that other aspect of spirituality, which is the more, because 9 always relates to me to spirituality. I think about the 9th house of Sagittarius, of higher learning, of those sort of higher realms rather than the physical realms. It also made you a little bit disconnected from that more sensual and beautiful and emotionally free aspect of it, which is all about expansion rather than contraction. And here we've talked about boundaries from the beginning, right? About creating very clear distinctions between yourself and someone else, between yourself and the world, yourself and your environment, your experience of power, and your idea of what it means to be in the world in a way that feels safe. So this really wants to bring back, this reading is all about the energy of opening yourself to that energy again, to the energy of trust, of inward security. In the end, being secure and self-sufficient is not about sort of upholding any sort of boundary in a way that's overly emphatic or overly violent. It's about being so secure in yourself and so self-loving and so self-trusting that You actually just kind of exist in the world without having to signify that you have any sort of boundaries around yourself, without having to sort of like express or communicate your power. You just are that. You just are respectable. You just are powerful. You just are authentic and someone who is unique and beautiful and whatever. You don't have to say that to anyone. You don't have to perform that in any sort of way in order to get that respect and that treatment that you deserve, that was not given to you in this difficult experience that you've gone through, and that traumatized you and made you feel so small, and maybe made you feel so powerless that you've had to build up these walls and to acquire these skills and these sort of these life skills in order to protect yourself from ever feeling that again. Of course, this was a necessary process, and one of the messages that I get is that you never have to learn that lesson again. So now it's time for you to just trust in yourself, and to trust that you basically to just know that you can trust yourself again, and that it wasn't your wrongdoing in the situation that you experienced. It wasn't that you were naive or that you were stupid and giving your love to someone, or in being open to the world and being receptive to magic and to romance and to all of that that created this experience for you. It was simply a lesson in alignment that, yes, absolutely, certainly, only certain people deserve to see your true self and to connect to your most authentic energy. It's not for you to give away to just anyone. But at the same time, alignment is always about experiencing a certain energy from within and drawing that forth through the energy of trust and surrender, without you having to put up certain, postcards of like, I am this and you must respect that. Yes, that is necessary if you're in immediate danger, or if someone is, disrespecting you to your actual face. Like if, someone spits in your face, by all means, give that bitch a piece of your mind. But this is all about you aligning at a greater spiritual level and energetic level to the energy that you really truly do want to draw forth towards you deep down. And that is the energy of enjoyment, of sensuality, of beautiful and just expressive and enjoyable love. So let's see what this energy is on a more particular level, what the situation is about for you. Okay. All right, so this fell on sensuality, the Six of Pentacles. So you gave so much love before in a relationship or in a situation, and you were absolutely unmatched. Someone did not give you back the same quality and quantity of energy that you gave off. And yeah, the Temperance card also speaks about equalization as well as synthesis, and you're now in a process of healing from that. Yeah, with the Wheel as well as, okay, Knight of Cups, beautiful. You're in a process of healing from this relationship and this energy. Ooh, okay, that's a bit too many cards. I'm going to note that the Page of Swords came out, which is all about pettiness. Basically, you've experienced just so much energy that was so misaligned with your spiritual nature and your emotional capacity in this life. And you've had to go through this deep transformation here with a Magician. You've had to sort of in some ways overly reconnect with your power and to kind of become ruthless in a way. Oh my goodness. These cards are really jumpy here. I'm just going to take one more card. Okay, you know what? Fine. Come at all of you. The cards really want to say a lot for you, so I'm just going to take all of them. Yeah, and I'm gonna not do reversals for now. Okay. this angel here, he has this sort of, not necessarily expression on his face, but he's a little bit, he's not, a sweet kind of to be messed with angel. He's very powerful. He holds both the moon and the sun here. And you know that he's capable of a lot. He's sort of the more elevated version of the magician. The magician is the first card in the tarot, and temperance is all the way in towards the middle. So he's sort of the more energetically elevated version of this magician here, who's kind of getting the hang of magic and of spiritual energy for the first time. And this speaks to me about being a sort of a sort of ruthless angel. So having gone through so much dark experiences in such a difficult situation where you felt that your power was basically destabilized, you've had to kind of get to know your dark side and to not, to become friends with that dark side and to sort of embody that primarily at an energetic level. But this speaks to me about finding a sort of lightness of spirit again. You've gone through this, and the situation that you've experienced did not feel fair. It did not feel like your true soul essence was respected and seen and heard and loved. And that was sort of like the dark force, right? And now you are ready to embrace this light again. But that, of course, comes from alignment within. And the Wheel of Fortune says basically that it's up to you how you change this energy, how you transform this energy into your life. The lunar eclipse is all about deep transformation. It's about powerful transformation. And you are someone who's so capable of attracting the reality that you want through self-actualization. With the Magician, with the King of Cups, I'm going to talk about that in a second, who is about mastery, emotional and spiritual mastery of all levels. You have the possibility to attract that into your life. But you're still in a process of healing with Temperance as well as Four of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. See how she's in this sort of cozy cocoon of sewing her heart out back again. But I get the sense that you're nearing towards the end of this process of healing, where you no longer have to put up these boundaries around yourself. Like this reality, this daily reality that you experience is about to change. And right now, in February of this year, we have such a rare opportunity for sort of energetic shortcuts. We don't have to work quite as hard. There's so much psychic, beautiful, spiritual energy around from just all the astrology that's happening with this Venus and Mars conjunction, as well as with the North Node in Taurus, which speaks about materializing potential. There's so much of that energy happening that all you have to do is really just tap into your own vision for it within. And the more you do that, the more powerfully you do that, the more you attract this refreshed and beautiful energy into your life. The Knight of Cups speaks about offers. It speaks about connections, reconnections with true soulmates, with someone who is truly loving to you. I love that the Knight of Cups as well as the King of Cups are in the same reading. It speaks about transformation, evolution. It speaks about elevation. And you're someone who's so strong and so capable and so giving and so generous deep down. And maybe you thought that you were all of that in a situation in the past, but it was never in alignment with you. It was never worthy of you. Whether that relationship, that situation, that person was not someone who could give you back in full and equal return everything that you could give. And you had to go through this process of walking away, of, turning away from the situation that maybe meant a lot to you and that felt, maybe like your ultimate soulmate, for example, if this was a relationship, like a romantic relationship, but that was no longer serving you because emotionally, energetically, spiritually, it was depleting you. So much elevation wants to come your way emotionally, you should expect of others exactly what you expect of yourself. And you don't have to do that through putting up boundaries or through putting up sort of disclaimers. You should just expect that that it is possible for you to be matched fully, and that you don't have to work hard for it. Absolutely continue to work on your own elevation and your own transformation, but you don't have to put up any sort of disclaimer, as in I am not the kind of person who is being taken advantage of. Just know that within yourself, and that is the energy that you're going to be attracting from now on. Someone who already inherently is capable of respecting boundaries and of seeing the energy of others, not from an ego level, as in what can I gain from you, or what can I get from this relationship, but from a soul level. The King of Cups is all about, the highest level of emotional maturity. You're meant to experience this sort of partnership with someone who is as powerful and as emotionally mature and capable as you are. So let's see what the energy that you should release is, and what sort of things should you do in order to welcome this change in your life and this beautiful manifestation in love. Okay, you know what? Wow. Okay, so one card fell on the ground and two came up here. I'm just going to take the one on the ground because it's just one of them. I'm going to glance at the others. Okay. I'm going to take one of the ones that fell on the table and the one on the floor. So rose quartz, love and compassion. 27, 2 and 7 add up to 9. Once again, the energy of the 9th house of spirituality. And if you were also drawn to pile number 1, maybe also take a look at that, because I think there might be a message there for you as well. It's about embracing the energy of the divine feminine, of surrender, of, indeed, love and compassion, and the belief that this sort of tender and loving and sweet energy is also meant for you, that you're not meant to just experience struggle and to be in a constant cycle of growth that is simply a chore. It's meant to be enjoyed as well. And here with Lapis Lazuli, self-knowledge, you've gone through so many cycles of self-understanding and self-reflection. You've gained a lot through this situation, and now it's time for you to also enjoy this process of growth and just this experience of love. You're meant to enjoy partnerships as well, and it's amazing. 1 and 8, 18 there also adds up to 9. So it's definitely nearing towards the end of a cycle for you. You're nearing this process of learning and of healing. And right now you have an opportunity to accelerate this completion. You don't have to experience this dark night of the soul, or this sort of aloneness, or this sort of idea that you're just going to constantly go through cycles of feeling alone, of feeling disrespected, or whatever. You don't have to go through this forever. This will change. This is not your permanent reality. This is what the Wheel of Fortune wants to come here. This is what wants to come your way. Beautiful romance, beautiful connection, a soulmate who is compassionate, loving, absolutely giving, just so generous. Okay, so I'm pulling some healing messages for you. Illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. Releasing expectations. Only the highest possibilities come to me, whether I envision them or not. And processing grief. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see that. My losses prove how deeply I loved. So, one of the more difficult messages that comes through is that the love that you felt and experienced and shared with someone does not have to be proven wrong for you to be able to move on. As in, you don't have to say oh, I was wrong to see this potential in that person, or I was wrong to love this person, and it was all false and that person was horrible and whatever. This and that can be true. That person could have had that potential, but were they able to grasp it? Were they able to act on it? Were they able to embody that energy that you saw within them, deep within? Because you're someone who can see the best in others. You're someone who can see the end goal and what is the highest outcome, exactly as this says. The highest possibility of union, of connection, of manifestation. You're able to see that within yourself and other people, and you saw a lot of potential within this relationship and connection, but that person did not see it. That does not mean that they were unworthy or horrible or evil or whatever. And maybe, think about it this way, like that person really needed your love at that time, and it isn't fair what you went through, and it's not something that has to repeat again, however. But one of the ways to accelerate this process of completing your healing as well as moving on from this difficult situation is to simply forgive them and release that aspect. And I know, oh yeah, how easy to say that. Just forgive this person, for having done all of these things to you and for having hurt you so deeply. But I hear that one of the things that was difficult for you in this process was, for example, like thinking that this person was kind of like the highest connection to you, and that if you were to acknowledge that you love them in a way that was justified, then you would acknowledge that you're never going to feel that way again about someone else. If you were right, as in like, if you were right about this person being who you thought they were, then, well, that means that this situation is tragic for you, and that your life experience is tragic, and that you missed out on the greatest love ever. But that is not necessarily true. In fact, that is not true at all. I'm trying to be nice here, and not to be overly bossy, but you don't know how Spirit wants to bring you closer to your highest love. And sometimes we might go through experiences that seem to break us completely, and through relationships that make us unable to believe in finding love again, right? And if this was some situation where you thought that maybe this person was your highest soulmate or twin flame, I feel like at least for one of you that's the case. And they did not act like that. They did not embody that possibility and that potential that you saw within them. They either needed to go through an entire process of ego shattering and total phoenix-like transformation, or you were meant to come into union with someone who is your true highest soulmate in twin flame. And this of course relates to everyone else who might not have had that experience. But think about this as something that made you grow and made you come closer to your true authenticity and self-knowledge. This was a process that was needed for you to understand yourself deeply at a spiritual level. Now it's time for healing. You're capable of completing that process and of attracting the absolute highest outcome, no matter what it is, no matter what this relationship is for you, with whom it is. You're meant to experience that highest love that's available to you in this lifetime, and it's going to come your way. And you don't have to block yourself from anything, from people disrespecting you, from thinking of someone as this or that. It's not necessary. You simply focus on the energy of love, and that is what you attract into your life. So let's pull you a couple of soulmate messages here. Okay, so we have trust in the healing power of love, for it is only through love that happiness is possible. Observe all that transpires, but don't get emotionally attached. The storm will clear. You can be of assistance to the one you love only if you remain positive. That's your energetic shortcut right there. It's the energy of positivity and of love. Forgiveness, it's so important for ourselves. It's not about the other person. They don't even have to know that you forgave them. This is all for you. It's about releasing the burden of that and aligning directly to the energy of love rather than working through negatives or through self-shielding energy. And of course, look at more of this. Love generates love. You'll receive positive, once again, confirmation of this in the next few days. Keep on loving, and you will keep on receiving ever greater blessings in return. you have such powerful capacity for love in this lifetime, and that is the greatest possible gift. It is what makes you special, one of the many things that makes you special. And to shy away from that, or to limit that within yourself because it wasn't truly or equally given to you in the past, is such a pity, because that person's actions were not because of you. They had to do with themselves and their own process of learning and transformation. They were a reflection of their own wounds and experiences of difficulty and trauma in this lifetime, and they had nothing to do with you. It was not about them not recognizing your worth, your generosity, and your specialness in this lifetime. So the more you understand that, the more you're able to forgive that person and that situation, and the more you're able and capable of realigning with your true self and true capacity for love, which is so special and so unique within you. And this creates this, again, energetic shortcut for inviting this ultimate sort of love that evolves so quickly from this, Knight of Cups to this King of Cups. You're able to receive this so quickly in your life. And this is all about just maintaining that inner authenticity and connection to your native energy, which is this beautiful, emotional, psychic, spiritual energy of embodying and attracting love. So that's what I see in this reading for you. I hope some of that resonated. Let me know what you think, what you feel. I would love to hear your comments, your stories down below. And of course, I would appreciate your likes and shares and subscribes. And hope to see you back here in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Have a lovely day or night. Bye. So hi everyone who picked pile number 4, as well as this beautiful and unique purple tiger eye. So already when I look at this, I think of the crown chakra as well as the third eye chakra, and about clear thinking as well as intuitive and spiritual downloads. So what wants to manifest for you in love? You are connecting to higher spiritual truth, and you're opening up to a channel of divine manifestation as well as assistance in this process of attracting exactly what you want into your life, romantically, spiritually, emotionally. So let's see what the cards have to say for you. We get love. Wow, how obvious, but I swear that not all of these cards are like that. These are chakra cards. So we get the 4th chakra. So we get kindness, benevolence, sharing, and receiving. And we also get forgiveness, okay? The energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. And I already sense that pile 3 might also have a message for you, because this card came up, which was one of the messages there. North Node, life's purpose. And, ooh, trickery, interesting. Okay. So yeah, a similar message to pile 3 for you. You've gone through a situation, a relationship, an experience that betrayed your heart and your openness to love and to spiritual energy. You thought that someone was a certain person, that they were capable of something, that they had a certain amount of potential and a connection with you, and you seem to have been proven wrong. You seem to have been blinded in that situation, and that's exactly kind of the message that I was getting with this stone here, about clear sight and seeing through illusions and receiving sort of clear guidance. And maybe you have felt betrayed by the lack of guidance that you've received in your life, and that seem to have misled you on this path of heartbreak that led ultimately to what you felt was heartbreak and betrayal. Like you were so capable and willing to share love and kindness and to be such a giving person, such an unconditionally loving person, but that was not mirrored back to you. And because of this, you might have second-guessed a lot of things about yourself. your identity, your purpose in life with this North Node here, who you actually were, whether this desire that you have for love and partnership was meant to be part of your purpose and your reality in this life. And these are difficult lessons to learn. They're not even necessarily like harsh karmic lessons or anything like that. They're usually lessons in alignment and in experiencing exactly the energy of your desires, but in its most elevated form. So with forgiveness here, it says the energy of forgiveness strengthens our capacity to let go of unwanted feelings and emotions. This is about detaching from this negative experience in your life, in this relationship, because it is currently keeping you apart from your greatest possibility for manifesting your purpose, just in general, but also when it comes to experiencing this beautiful partnership and love that you are meant to feel and to go through and to enjoy in this lifetime. So I'm going to pull some extra charms for clarification here. Interesting. I don't know if I pulled charms for the previous pile. I did for the other ones, though. Let's see. Whoa! Something fell on the ground. Ah, the acorn. Okay. So already I see that we have 2 skulls here. So yeah, this speaks to me about betrayal, having felt just at a very deep soul level hurt and betrayed by someone who he thought was a different person. I don't know what this says. This says a handmade, this little hand here. We also get a sort of bird, a sea star, a dolphin, a dragonfly, a heart, a triplet, musical notes, as well as a Mickey Mouse key. Okay, so lots of playful energy here with the dolphin, the sea star, and the bird, as well as the music notes. So what I sense, because of all of that energy, especially the musical element there, is that this situation that felt so heavy, because we have 2 skulls here, and we also have a dragonfly, which signifies transformation and change and just elevation. On one side, this experience was meant for you so that you would grow exponentially from this tiny little acorn into a full tree. So it was meant for that, right? But at the same time, it was not meant to disconnect you from your soul song and your soul purpose and your sort of initial assumptions about what you were meant to feel and be in this lifetime. So if, for example, this relationship or experience made you feel disconnected from your passions in life, from your career, from your hobbies, from what truly makes you happy. And especially if you're like an artist or someone who works with that energy, if this maybe plunged you into an experience of darkness or into a sort of period in your life where you weren't inspired at all, or you were depleted of energy, or you felt just so shut off from the beautiful sensual pleasures of life, of art, of aesthetic enjoyment, of just sensuality in general. With so much green here, it does make me think, besides of course of the heart chakra, which of course came up in the charms as well, it makes me think of earth sign energy, which speaks to me about pleasure and enjoyment and earthly matters. And right now the North Node is in Taurus, which is all about materialization and the physical reality. And opposite, oh yeah, the North Node coming up, very important for you. This does talk about this transit right now. You want, your soul and your spirit guides are wanting to take you out of this overly dark South Node in Scorpio energy, which is happening right now. and to bring you more into this North Node and Taurus energy, which is all about being grounded. It's about being connected to material energies and to material worth, and to being in the world again in a way that is healthy and positive and beautiful and abundant. If you've been in a sort of dark night of the soul, or stuck in cycles of self-reflection, self-evaluation, and feeling dark and heavy energies, this reading wants to tell you that all of that is important, and it was for your soul growth, and it was something that you had to go through, but that does not have to be your permanent reality. And you have an opportunity this month, through this beautiful astrological portal of manifestation when it comes to all things related to love, to create a sort of energetic shortcut from this place that you're in right now to your desired place in the world and in your reality. And this is through this energy of forgiveness and of simply detaching from what is no longer yours, what is too heavy for you to carry anymore, what you don't need to experience anymore, what you don't need to sort of embrace as your daily paradigm of existence. You don't have to hold on to this heartbreak or to the idea that this is always going to repeat in your life. So let's see what energy you need to release or heal in order to, or actually, I'm doing this opposite. Let's pull more cards first to further explain the situation that you're in right now and what wants to come your way, what wants to manifest for you in love. And I already sense that this has to do with your ability, your belief in your ability to create your desired reality, not just in your mind, spiritually, but in your physical reality. Already we have 9 of Swords. You're worried that this is all there is, that you were wrong about the situation, therefore that you're wrong entirely about this idea that you're meant to and capable of experiencing partnership and love in this lifetime. Justice. You're afraid that there always is going to be a darker reality between what you initially perceive, whether in someone or in your immediate experience. Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, beautiful. Page of Pentacles. Let's get one more card. Okay, and the Devil, okay. So this speaks to me about Capricorn energy, and I say this because there's been such an overabundance of that lately with the exact Venus and Mars conjunction right now into Capricorn, which is trining this energy of the North Node and Taurus, which wants to take you away from that sort of inward cycle of darkness and the more difficult side of transformation and of growth, and wants to bring you into the lusher and more beautiful and enjoyable process and experience of growth. Yeah, this speaks to me about your ability to believe in the possibility for enjoyment in this simple and beautiful and like just innocent sort of way in which you see here with this golden retriever, that you're able to receive. Yeah, this is all about receiving exactly what you give off and what you're capable of giving off. And Justice is a card of balance. It's a card of receiving exactly what you give, and it's about mirroring as well here. And you were absolutely, again, you were meant to go through this process of transformation and of seeing the darker side of things and seeing the darker tendencies of others, and the fact that not everyone is aligned with your heart and your ability and capability to love others. You were absolutely meant to see that, but not in a way that discouraged you from upholding your belief system and upholding your hope for this beautiful ultimate sort of soulmate partnership and manifestation and reality of love for you. It was not in order to tell you that you were wrong about that dream and that hope, and that it was not meant to be part of your experience in this life, but it was in order to bring you closer to it in this way that was sustainable. Venus in Capricorn, and we've just come out of retrograde. Venus retrograde is all about setting certain boundaries and reacting to situations based on what's actually happening in reality. And this is what this sort of abundance of earth and greenery here in this reading speaks to me about. It's about seeing clearly through illusions. Yes, you are someone who is totally capable of seeing the potential in others, no matter how sort of shrouded in ego they are, with this devil card here, how sort of unlovingly they act. You're able to see that they're doing that because of certain traumas, because of certain feelings of hurt that they have within themselves. But that doesn't mean that you have to accept their behavior, and you don't have to accept that as being a mirror for your own worth. You are meant to align with those who are capable of acting on that potential that you see within them. So drawing these boundaries between yourself and others who are not, able to match you is absolutely important. And you are meant to see this whole experience that you've gone through was meant to make you see clearly and to distinguish between those who are able to match you and those who are not. But it was not meant to discourage you entirely from believing in that hope and that dream that you have for ultimate, beautiful sort of partnership here. And for co-creation, and I get the sense that for a lot of you this connects with partnership that is not just kind of all about like lovey-dovey, like self-sufficient sort of romantic love, but love connected to sort of success, into abundance, and maybe something about like co-creative partnership in terms of finances and materiality and so on. With this card here, I'm pulling a card for what you were meant to release in order to embrace the reality and the manifestation of love that wants to come your way. Chalcedony conversion. And at the bottom of the deck, we have good fortune. Yeah, so this really does speak to me about this desire that you have to co-create with someone else and to experience a full partnership with someone who aligns to your purpose, whether in your career, spiritually, when it comes to creating worth and abundance. Taurus energy, the North Node Taurus is all about worth, about creating things through your own will and self-sufficient power. But this really does talk to me about a partnership that you're meant to experience in this lifetime that does bridge the energy of just sort of unconditional love, which you're so capable of giving, as well as that of abundance and literally good fortune, as it says here. So this is about sort of equalizing and balancing out your spiritual experiences as of lately. Like, yes, on one side, put up better boundaries when it comes to sharing love, giving love. But at the same time, don't go so far in that direction that you block off those relationships and those connections that are able to give you what you want. And with this Page of Pentacles here, it's about taking that first step on this process. And it's also about not undermining certain situations or connections that might not be fully manifested yet. It's about not overlooking potential. As in, like, for example, like, you learned this difficult, harsh lesson that if someone doesn't show their desire to manifest and to externalize their full potential, which you do see within them because you're so capable of seeing someone's true soul and true heart, no matter how awfully they're acting. This is about not cutting someone off completely the second they do something wrong, or the second they seem to, take a step back, or to be not completely truthful. This is about keeping that open-mindedness, keeping that beautiful compassion that you have and recognizing that as a true sacred element of who you are, and not sort of projecting the same reality that you experienced in the past with this person or this, situation onto someone else who might be totally innocent. Actually, with this dog and forgiveness, I do keep thinking of the energy of innocence. So keeping that innocence within yourself, releasing those difficult situations, forgiving those people, that person, maybe those situations that did not give you what you felt you truly needed, that felt unfair to you, and not assuming that everything is automatically going to be unfair for you, or that life is unfair, or that all is fair in love and war. That does not have to be the case. You are meant to be awakened to this a reality that, your soul and your heart are sacred, and you should be careful about opening up, but you are not meant to shut off completely. So there's a sort of subtlety there that wants to be brought to your attention with this reading. So let's see, we have some healing messages for you here. Ooh, wow, okay. What are some relevant healing messages for you, pile number 4? Okay. We have asking for angelic support. So yeah, that does remind me of what I was feeling initially with this tiger eye, which is that there's these messages that I'm talking to you about right now. One are being brought to your attention by your spirit guides and by your angels. It says, my angels respond when I'm open and authentic about how I feel. So for example, if this experience that you've gone through has discouraged you from being open to and hopeful about love, saying something like, oh, I don't care about that anymore, like that's not authentic to your true heart. So rather than saying something like that, opening up to your angels and saying, like, I want to receive guidance and help and support on this path of, keeping my heart open and hopeful to the possibility of love. That's something that will attract clearer guidance for you on this path. And it says resolving anger, and that really goes with forgiveness to me. Conflict reminds me of when I need more space for myself. So while it might not be easy always to forgive someone or to disconnect from this feeling of injustice that you've experienced, you don't have to do it all today. Again, with the Page of Pentacles, it's all about taking that first step, about, even stating, whether to yourself, to your spirit guides, to whatever energy that makes you feel like sort of accountable. Just stating your commitment to move on from this burden that you no longer have to experience and no longer has to be the paradigm of your existence every day. So you just simply have to state that commitment, and you don't always have to achieve that goal on the same day, right? Sometimes it takes some time and you can give yourself space. And wow, oh my goodness, untangling neglect. And it says, I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. So time. Be gentle with yourself, just as you were gentle with others before. And the more you bring that gentleness into your own experience and just daily sort of reality with yourself, the more you are capable of connecting with others in that way in which you feel maybe is no longer available to you now. Celebrating simplicity, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. With all this greenery here, exercising out in nature might be something that is very healing for you. And reconnecting from perhaps, inner cycles of going over and over the difficult things in this experience and the details of the betrayal that you felt in this past experience. That's no longer helpful for you. It is time to move away from that inner cycle. And it says, I'm just pulling some final messages for you here, some soulmate messages. Let us be the love we seek. Let us be the change we wish to see. Let us give freely to one another without condition, for it is in giving that we receive, and that is the perfect sort of reiteration of this message here in this card: kindness, benevolence, sharing, receiving. It's all about believing that you were not wrong and stupid and naive to do that before. It was just a lesson of alignment. And it says, everything happens for a reason, and even though the reason is sometimes unclear, I graciously accept that all transpires in the knowing that it unfolds through love in accordance with the divine will of my soul. Yeah, I'm not always a fan of the message, everything happens for a reason, but again, this whole situation was for you to learn certain things. It was not meant to be your permanent reality. It was meant, yes, to teach you that certain people are not aligned with the energy of unconditional love, but that does not have to be the case for everyone else. So yes, you were absolutely meant to become more protective of yourself, of your energy, to make sure that, someone is never going to destabilize you from your purpose and your path and your connection to your true passions. If that was something that really shocked you because you were someone who was always connected to that energy, to your true self, to your authenticity, to your true passions in life, then it was not meant to stay that way forever. That was a temporary process. This sort of Scorpio South Node process of dark night of the soul was not meant to be permanent for you. It was meant to teach you a lesson so that you become even more clearly aligned with the energy of unconditional love, so that you experience it from within and you draw it forth to yourself automatically by believing in it even more strongly than before. And again, this is a time that is kind of like an energetic portal, a shortcut towards creating your true reality that you desire and being able to manifest that, not just, in the ether or in the astral realm somewhere, but in the actual material reality around yourself. So that's what I see for your reading. I hope you enjoyed that. That some of it was resonant. I would love to hear your stories and comments down below. I would, of course, appreciate your likes, subscribes, shares, so on. I hope you have a lovely day or night whenever you're watching, and hope to see you back here again. Thanks so much. Bye. So hi, everyone who picked pile number 5, as well as this beautiful selenite heart-shaped stone. So what I sense from this energy already is that so much clearing wants to come your way, so much healing as well as clearing of your own energy. There's a very sort of opaque energy, I sense a sort of blockage here. When it comes to your way of thinking, when it comes to your flow, your creativity, your ability to receive messages and guidance. This stone does not always give me this feeling, but especially with this lighting here, it's almost like I can't see if there's some sort of barrier within it. And this really has to do with clearing your heart chakra and clearing your energy and your vibration from within, so that you receive certain messages and certain guidance that is meant to bring you closer to the path of your purpose and your manifestation when it comes to your deepest desire in love and in partnership. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the energy of creativity, imagination, expression, originality, passion. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see the throat chakra being emphasized here. This energy here, this sort of splatter of white in the midst of this blue, speaks to me about this sort of blockage that I saw within this stone. When it comes to expression, when it comes to communication of all sorts, this is a very sort of air sign energy to me. And a sort of disconnect from your true source of authenticity. So transformation, the energy of transformation supports our ability to gracefully flow through times of transition, allowing the old to make room for the new. So the combination of all these energies so far reminds me a lot of the Moon card in tarot, which is about sort of being in a state of lack of clarity, a state of suspension, a state of psychic sort of disconnect, where you're kind of going around through the dark. And especially if you felt like you've been in a process of awakening or of destabilization energetically, This speaks to being sort of thrown into that and not knowing exactly where you stand and what's happening around you, not really seeing the big picture, not seeing through everything clearly. And selenite always wants to clear energies. It wants to open up channels of communication, of understanding, of downloads. It wants you to be in charge of this process of learning, not just to kind of be the receptive vessel of all of these messages and lessons without, without having the ability to make sense of them. So definitely lots of air sign energy here. If that resonates with you, that's just a further confirmation. If not, don't worry about it. It's about mental energies. It's about a disconnect between the higher chakras of learning, the crown, the third eye, as well as the throat chakra, and the lower chakras, which are those of experiencing the world in a more physical and immediate way. And as I say this, we get the second house, owning, which is the ultimate sort of material house. And we also get perfection. Interesting. So with the second house, it immediately makes me think of the important earth energy transits that are happening at the moment. Especially, I mentioned at the start of my video that this is a really rare time astrologically that figures in my book as a sort of energetic shortcut towards manifesting and experiencing union in love of all kinds. And this is in part due because of the Venus and Mars conjunction in Capricorn, which is an earth sign that happened post this beautiful Venus retrograde that we've had throughout January. And it's also because of the North Node having shifted from Gemini into Taurus, from the mind into the body, from concepts into realities, material realities. And this is all about worth. And the second house is, of course, about worth and values. So what is value for you? What does value mean for you? It's almost like you're kind of disconnected from being able to answer that for yourself. Like, what does value mean for you in relationships, in connections, in partnerships? There's a sort of change in your belief system that took place recently. At the mind level, at the spiritual level, that you maybe haven't been able to bring fully into your reality yet. You haven't been able to sort of materialize into sort of, funnel through the facets and the channels of your body, whether, your ability to receive messages, to understand what's been happening, or your ability to act on those messages and to create things in your life again. There's been so much learning involved in the past, I want to say at least a year and a half cycle, because that's how long the node in Gemini lasted. And usually, of course, nodes stay there in the same placement for about a year and a half. So this past cycle that you've experienced of so much learning, so much higher learning, so much lower learning as well, and the lower level, like acquiring skills or hobbies or just techniques of some kind, has been immensely informative for you, but you're almost like not certain exactly what worth it all had. Like, what was it all for? Like, what is this all meant to teach you? What does this have to say about your ability to experience things that are enjoyable and worthy at the level of partnership and love? Like, what do all these things have to do with your ability to experience love and partnership in the world? And with the card of perfection coming up, this speaks to me about your lower self as well as higher self, because we have this sort of inward person. Like, we have a big version of the same person, and then we have this sort of tinier version of herself, and it was all a process of acquiring certain skills and ideas in order to grow later on. So the mouth is emphasized here, and we were speaking exactly about channels before. So all of these kind of seemingly insignificant things that you've experienced, like with grapes, I think that's grapes or raspberries, I'm not sure, but it all seemed like little things that you acquired were like just experiences that you've gone through that maybe just didn't add up. That's the kind of energy that I'm feeling for you. But that were meant to sort of accumulate within your subconscious so that when the time comes for you to experience this beautiful, ideal, perfect, and I know that's not always a sort of healthy message, but for you it's about that. Like, you're someone who's incredibly intelligent, someone who's incredibly capable of transformation, of elevation, intellectually, spiritually. Therefore, you're someone who's also capable of experiencing really advanced and sort of just old soul level relationships. And with this perfection card, what I was going to say before I interrupted myself was that, yeah, all of these experiences and learning situations and downloads and confusion was meant to give you the skills as well as sort of like arsenal of life skills necessary so that you experience and attract, like right off the bat, without having to experience other relationships, the ideal perfect partnership that is absolutely meant for you at the soul level, that is meant to give you, the most abundant version of love that you can experience in this lifetime. And yeah, the idea and the energy of shortcut, it feels so important for you with this transformation card. Like, it's almost like you were given this extra like set of life skills and experiences and learning so that you bypass all the sort of like things that are considered sort of milestones of experience when it comes to love and partnerships. They don't have to go through all those struggles that everyone else goes through, so that you go straight to kind of like the highest level of what, this ideal partnership would mean and look like to you. So this is such an interesting reading. Very sort of unique energy. I get such air sign energy, like a Gemini, Aquarius especially, maybe some Libra, and with the perfection card as well as second house, I definitely get a Virgo and Taurus as well. So air and earth sign energy. If those mean something to you, then that's just a further confirmation. If not, don't worry about it. Wow, with Atlanticide, we get emotional purity, and this really makes me think of Virgo energy again. We have 6 here. We also have 42, which adds up to 6. So the 6th house, absolutely, which is the house of Virgo, highlighted. I don't know why I want to get another card for you. Ooh, hello. With 3 and 5 adds up to 8, and 2 and 6 also adds up to 8. So the 8th house of transformation of Scorpio, which is indicated here, is also important. And oh my gosh, we also get 8 here. Bornite, joyfulness. So yeah, this was a process of transformation that maybe felt like almost, I want to say, like redundant to you, like on a spiritual and intellectual level, like you were totally going to be able to conceptualize all of these truths and lessons that you learned. So you're asking yourself, like, did I really have to experience this? Did I have to really experience this situation that I've gone through, or just this reality? Like, one question you might be asking yourself is like, why am I getting all these like high level difficult lessons? Like, one thing I see is that maybe a lot of you have been single for quite a long time, or maybe you're single like for most of your life. Like, even if you have not been single, like it never felt like you were connected to someone who felt like a true potential partner for you, someone who is worthy of you, someone who's your equal, someone who you could feel like you could co-create with. And it almost feels like there's a lot of like energy of like bareness, like emptiness sort of, that surrounds this reading. And it makes me go back to this energy of selenite and this idea of purity. Yeah, interesting. Let's pull some tarot cards and see what this really has to do with. You're someone who's very special, and someone who is, not meant for most of the people in this world. Like, you're someone who's just so elevated intellectually and spiritually, so Yeah, so there's so much like pure and clear energy surrounding you. King of Swords, more air energy, yeah. And the Two of Pentacles. Let's just get a few more cards. I get sort of also very angelic energy around you, like one of the messages that I feel could be relevant for you is that you are not here to experience the sort of automatic lessons that everyone else experiences at the earthly level. Like, you are not your typical human, and that really goes, I think, with like Aquarius and Virgo energy especially. Like, you're someone who's meant to be a sort of either earth angel or just sort of example of higher learning. Oh my gosh, if I get the Knight of Cups one more time, this is the third pile that it's shown up into in this reading. Okay, that's too many. You're someone who is just meant to stand out and who's just so different from everyone else around you that it is not necessary for you to go through the sort of status quo, usual situations and relationships and experiences that everyone else goes through in life. And especially this time is such a powerful time for, again, manifesting that sort of shortcut to that ideal partnership and experience of love that is only yours and that is accessible so clearly just to you. Let's get one more card here. Okay, more Aquarius energy. I sensed that. Yeah, with this King of Swords, what I sense is that there's just so much energy of sort of aloneness surrounding you. If you've been single for a long time, then this is your message that you no longer have to be, because at the middle of this reading, we have not just one knight, but two knights. We have the beautiful, romantic, idealistic knight, as well as the dependable one who moves very slowly, who is capable of following through on his word and his promises and his offers. So that's wonderful to see, because, and with the Two of Pentacles, it's sort of like the perfect synthesis of this energy. If, with the Knight of, I keep saying knight, maybe that's a message. With the King of Swords, and Knight of Cups here, maybe you've been sort of trying to manifest this person, this ideal, perfect partner. This person maybe only existed within your mind, within your soul so far. And maybe you felt like they weren't real. Maybe you felt that you've been going through these cycles of being sort of such an elevated person, of like learning such difficult, or not even difficult, but such elevated sort of lessons, such extreme lessons of like maybe being so radically alone, for example. And not, having ever had that physical, earthly experience of love, of partnership, then this is all about trusting and believing that that is A, accessible to you, and B, that you have the potential to create it and manifest it simply with your intention. And I say this because the Ace of Swords is here, and this is all about, literally look at how this energy is shooting from her, whatever shell she has on her head. And this reminds me of this card here. This is such a beautiful energy. This is about what you imagine you can speak into existence. Such a powerful energy of manifestation. And this is exactly what I felt here with, if you've been trying to manifest this partner that seems to you almost inaccessible, or just almost like a figment of your imagination, then this time, because it's such a powerful, rare moment astrologically that literally won't repeat in our lifetime, that signifies soulmate union and all of this, you're able to bring this into reality simply by wishing upon that. This is the ultimate energy of that. The star is about hoping, it's about healing as well, but it's mostly about sending your wish out there into the universe and trusting that it will be received, and not feeling like some sort of fraud or like none of this is real, because it isn't unreal. It's totally accessible to you right now. Oh, I totally put these in the wrong configuration. this sort of beautiful psychic energy is totally accessible to you now in a way that maybe it wasn't before, especially if I feel like, you know, so much air and earth energy, like as in if you were someone who is overly practical and like maybe shut off from these sort of psychic energies before, or if you feel like that's a bunch of crazy woo-woo that is not, you know, real, this tells you that these beautiful idealistic romantic notions that you have within don't have to stay only within your mind and within the realm of fantasy. They can be brought down to earth, especially now with the second house coming up for you. Especially if you're someone who has always focused on work or on creating material worth, this is asking you to believe that your more emotional, spiritual dreams are also filled with worth and potential for manifestation. And literally, you think of something, the more you believe in its possibility here, the more you're capable of speaking it into existence. So mantras, sort of daily affirmations are also very powerful for you, I think. It's a wonderful time for that, especially this entire month and literally throughout the rest of the spring time. Affirmations and focusing on these deep desires that you have are going to be very useful and healing and powerful for you. So let's pull some healing cards for you. When I didn't pull any charms for you either, I pulled charms for most of the piles, but forgot to do so for one previous pile as well as you, but at least I remembered for you, so I'm going to pull some at the end. It says, discovering happiness. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. Yeah, if you've ever felt like you were too different or like you weren't going through the sort of normal milestones that everyone else goes through in life when it comes to partnership, when it comes to desire, of love, of anything else related to that, then there wasn't, like, none of that was necessary. Like for you, you could just go straight to that higher level of partnership and of love and of that sort of experience. And oh my gosh, embracing worthiness. We talked about worth. I feel worthiness filling every cell of my body, and it feels amazing. If you've ever felt like because of these characteristics that tell you you are different than others, and that make you feel like prevented you from experiencing like a quote unquote normal reality compared to what everyone else seemed to be doing around you, made you feel less worthy, then this is your call to celebrating that difference rather than criticizing it inwardly. And yeah, look at this, liberating love. Oh my gosh. And doing that, recognizing that those differences make you literally, I don't want to say better than everyone else, but they make you so special, is going to be your shortcut, your energetic shortcut towards attracting and embodying love, this ideal partnership that you want. It says, I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. Yeah. And allowing appreciation. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. So yeah, affirmations, gratitude lists, they're all going to be very powerful at this time. And let's pull you those couple of charms, just because I remembered at least to do it for you. Ooh, cute. A bike. Nice. That's so cute. Being out in nature and maybe like, I don't know, going out on bike rides, it's going to be healing for you. Like I sense the energy of just like enjoying and being able to like appreciate the nature and the beauty around you as you do that. Let's see, I get an elephant, a little cat, a fairy, which really reminds me of this energy that I talked about, like earth angels, and we also get a wing here. Yeah, absolutely. That just tells me that you're such a unique person and such a sort of like pure person. I don't know if that word has a lot of weird connotations today, but what I mean by it is someone who's just like so unique and special. compared to everyone else. Someone who is so, like, you don't need to go through every other cycle of difficulty that everyone else goes through in this life. You are just able to attract this ultimate experience of enjoyment and of lightheartedness in life that maybe, you know, others struggle forever to embrace and to appreciate. But you're very wise with the turtle here, automatically, just by existing as you are in this world. You come equipped with so much wisdom. And we have a heart, of course, which speaks about this exact thing. Where is it? I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give, allowing love, right? And this little key. You have such a potential for manifesting what you really want when it comes to partnership, and that is because you are just so special with the seahorse. This is a lot of playfulness, so again, enjoying what you already have in life, and like, I don't know, whether it's going out in nature, going out on bike rides, doing exercise out with others, maybe like walking your dog with this bone here. This is a lot of Virgo energy I'm sensing here, absolutely. Just doing a lot of those beautiful, simple, everyday 6th house, which is ruled by Virgos, things like literally just appreciating the everyday details of what's enjoyable around you is going to be healing for you and going to keep you in that high vibrational energy of feeling worthy, feeling like you are just, you know, this energy here of feeling worthy and of therefore of feeling capable of giving love and of receiving it in equal measure. That's going to be your sort of key that unlocks that shortcut towards manifesting this highest partnership. So let's pull you a couple of soulmate cards, soulmate messages. Oh my gosh. A great love life requires intimacy, trust, and the ability to share your feelings. Express your doubts and fears, your likes and dislikes. Talk openly, listen, be present, always with an open heart and mind. Let's pull a second one. And there it is. Dwelling on the past and future keep me from experiencing the power of now. I make a conscious choice to be present. I accept love now. I am grateful for your love. So this absolutely speaks to me about just the everyday sweet little things of life and being grounded in that energy. And even if sometimes it feels like, you know, this ultimate sort of ideal highest level partnership is like just in the ether and in your mind, like how could this possibly manifest when it's literally not here and there's no indication of it. And if the idea of intimacy kind of intimidates you at times because you're like, how do I go from like ground zero to everything? How do I go from such a long period of being single to being in this ideal sort of, you know, deepest level partnership? With this 2 nights, there is this, you know, beautiful, romantic, most ideal potential for it, but it doesn't have to move quickly. It can move slowly. It can move at a beautifully glacial speed. You know, you don't have to go from ground zero to ground whatever 1,000. So it's all about being in the moment and being present and going from one enjoyable moment to the next, from one moment where you feel worthy to another, from enjoying one small little thing today to, you know, having everything later on, to having this most ideal highest thing in a partnership and love connection later on. So that's what I see for you in this reading. I hope some of this resonated, that you enjoyed some of it. I would love to hear your stories down below, your comments. I would appreciate your likes, subscribes, and shares, and I hope to see you back here one day. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely day or night. I'll see you again. Bye.